Starting a new project, went ahead, I kind of disassembled. I picked this up at a thrift shop last weekend. This piece does come off, so I unscrewed that off of there, gave it a quick sand and a clean, so now it's ready for some paint and stuff. So I went ahead, I think I'm going to leave this the way it is, but when they had it attached to it, it's not actually centered or anything, it's just kind of thrown on there. So I am going to go ahead and fill these holes where that was, and that way I can, when I put it back together, I can actually center that. So I am going to use, I'm just going to use some spackling for it. Usually I use my wood putty, but I'm not sure where it is. I think I'm out. But I did go ahead and do a quick, just a quick paint on the back of black. Just a plain old black, just so that way it's a little cleaner looking. And I'm going to put a piece of tape over this hole. And then put a piece over this hole. That way when I'm filling it from the other side, it's not just fusing right off the bat. Alright. And we're going to go ahead and fill those. And I'm just using a craft stick because I don't have my putty knife in here. It's out in the garage. So, make and do. So we're going to fill those. Then once that's dry, I'll sand those down. And then give it a good coat of paint. And then I'm thinking the new, oh, it's the one that looks like wallpaper. Paint inlay. I think I'm going to do that. Of course, they're not big enough to cover the whole thing, but I may just center them and maybe do 2 different inlays on that and then attach this piece. I'm thinking I'm just going to do like a, oh, what is it, the patina. I may just do a wax and just leave the frame. I kind of like the way it looks. So we're going to let this dry. And once this is dry, we'll do a quick sand, and then I will be right back. So we're back. I did a good sand on this. It did have a decoupage paper on it, so went ahead, sanded that off, gave it a good wipe down, so now it's ready for paint. And I'm going to use, it's General Finishes, it's their milk paint. It's called Millstone, which I think kind of looks like the crockery color almost, similar to. So I'm going to give it one good coat of that, and then I'll probably have to come back and do a second coat before we do that. I know before we do the inlay, I may have to do a third coat with the inlay. I don't know, we'll see. This is a really good thick paint, so it covers really well. So, and it does have a self-lever from what I told. I've not used it. This is my first time. I used it on one other project and I like it, but I'm told it has a self-leveler. I cannot say that word today. In it. It is a nice thick paint, I know that. I really am happy with it so far. I got several different colors of it to try out to see. Like I said, I usually use, it's the Exterior 450 Flat, I think it's called. That's the top coat I use on a lot of my stuff, especially if it's going to be going outside on a porch or something. And I really like that top coat. It's a water-based, so it doesn't yellow. It doesn't turn your paint, like if you do something white, it won't yellow it. At least I haven't had it so far. Watch me say that, and somebody else will use it and it'll do it. But I haven't had it turn any of my projects yellow. So, I really like it. I'm trying to do more videos from start to finish on my projects. I'm doing before pictures, so I'll have those in there. I don't know how much somebody wants to watch somebody paint. I know I'm really bad about fast forwarding through all that kind of stuff. But as my husband says, he's like, not everybody knows how to do it, so they want to see how to do it. So, here you go. don't judge. Don't be a judger. Don't be a hater. I am a very messy painter, and I'm sure, according to some people, I'm probably doing something wrong. But you know what? Everybody has their own way of doing their things. So let's just all be happy and creative and just go with it. Enjoy life. Life's too short to be miserable. Be a happy crafter. It's good for your soul. At least it's good for my soul. It makes me happy. Especially when I get to see the end product. Sometimes along the ways I'm like, not so happy. My husband will account for that. You can hear me in here talking sometimes, just cussing at stuff. Okay, so now we got one good coat on that. We're going to let that dry. And then we'll come back. And I'm thinking, I don't know, we may go ahead and do a second coat, let that dry, and then see where we're at after that. So, we're going to let that dry and we'll get back to it. Okay, so I went ahead and put a second coat on. And now I am putting some clear coat so we can go ahead and put this inlay on. And like I said, I'm going to do two different patterns on here. Get a good layer of the clear coat on there. And I'm going to start with the middle because the middle is going to be one print and then the two outsides is going to be another one. And then I'm going to use my mister bottle and just mist that inlay. Make sure you get it the right way. I put one on upside down the other day. That was not good. So, I think put that on there. Got a little bit of time to play with it to get it in the right spot before it starts doing its thing. I got some wrinkles. Like I said, I'm kind of new to the whole doing the paint inlays. So, if you see me doing it wrong, I'm sorry. I think I'm just going to do the middle one first, and then I'll let that dry, and then I'll do the outside ones. That way we can get it a good lined up right. Okay. Alright, so we're going to set that to the side, let that dry. Once that one dries, we'll remove it, and then we can do the other two panels, which I'm going to do the striped. It looks like a striped wallpaper on the two sides. There is going to be probably about an inch and a half that goes around the outside that's not going to have inlay on it, which I think will be fine. I may end up maybe doing a little bit of a different paint color on that. When we're done, we'll see. One of those things, we're just going to kind of go with it and see how it goes. So we're going to let that dry, and then we'll come back to it. Okay, so it is dry. Now we are going to wet it again. Add some of that off of there. A little bit more. Oh my goodness. And you know what? I think I put that upside down. Dadgummit. Oh well. That just gives it more character, right? figure that out when we come to it. Alright, there we go. So we're going to set this to the side. You can get several, sorry, I'm trying to lay that flat without getting it on anything. You can get several things from those inlays that says, I pulled up where I patched that hole. Oh well, they can fix that later. Alright, let's hit this with the... Tell where I must have got more clear coat than other spots. Oh well. It's a learning process. I'm learning these inlays. So one of these days I'll get it down. And work on the other sides. Now I just gotta be careful going along this line, because if you touch that, you can't smear it because you're just gonna reactivate that paint. So I just need to be mindful of that and be light-handed, not heavy-handed, which should be fun. Okay. Set on this side first. And we're going to do the stripes. We're going to go with get this lined up without going too crazy. And I don't think I went over far enough. Inlay. Okay. Now we're going to let that side sit and move on to this side. We're going to do stripes on this side. So, found some more clear. Okay. This other one. Water mixture up. Okay, make sure I get this on the right way. Put the stripe against the side. Ah. Sorry if my arm is getting in the way, guys. I am not right-handed. So, whenever I try to do something right-handed, like I said, I don't know if I'm going to leave this just plain around the edge, or if I want to do, I don't know, I'm not sure. We're going to wait until that dries, and we'll figure it out, if I want to leave it like it is, or if I want to add. If I wasn't putting that metal piece on the front, I would probably do like a clay mold trim piece around the inside, but I think that would close it in and just be a little too much with putting that metal piece, because we've got this piece, once everything's done, this is going to go back on there. So I don't want to get it too much going on, but we might do a different color around the edge. I'm not sure. We'll see. Alright, we're going to give that a little bit of time, let that dry, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so they are dry. Now, I need to fill this up. Wet that. You can tell once again where I got my clear coat on good and not so good. Oh, well, you know, we may just distress a little bit. I think it looks cool even though it's not like a complete very distressed on its own. Okay. So, there we go. We got both of those. Well, actually, two different design inlays, but one inlay on there. I should have probably went a little closer. There's a little bit of... Oh, well. I'm going to hit it with some sandpaper once that dries. We'll let that dry a little bit, then I'll hit it with a little bit of sandpaper. And then I'm thinking I'm probably just going to do a dark wax on the entire thing. And then that piece of metal, that already, I just did a clear coat on that just to keep it the way it is. So I think that's what we'll do. Let this dry and then do a dark wax on it. So once that's dry, we'll be back to it. Okay, so I went ahead, distressed it a little bit, and then put the brown wax on. And once I did the brown wax, it really made it look very vintage. So it's more of like a beige kind of color than the white, which I kind of like. It's different. It turned out different than I thought it would, but we're going to go with it. So now we need to find the right screwdriver. Attach this metal piece back on here. Let's see. Goes in there. This one goes. Sorry if my head's getting in the way, guys. And there. Alright, then we got a washer. That goes on there. Why was I thinking I need a screwdriver? I need a little wrench, actually. That one. I'll just get it on there. I'll tighten it up once we get done. At least just get it on there so you guys can see the end result. Alright, so. And if I get the whole thing on the camera, it's pretty big. So this is what we've got finished up now. So that's one project done, and I'll do a before and an after picture of it. And then we'll move on to the next project.